Hello, California adventures, everyone. Here we are at the Reptile Labyrinth outside Rapid City, South Dakota. And today we're on the tour of every South Dakota adventure. We're showing around what Reptile Labyrinth looks like. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Hit that bell icon, and there'll be info from the Reptile Labyrinth. And we'll let YouTube know how we're doing. That's many nice little garden over here. A whole nice flower here. Come around. Here we'll have the entry.
And the sad thing is,
We'll have some of the garden here. Oh, he's so cute. One over here too. Also flowers in here too. Không mấy here. Pretty good. In here. Roll port. Thank you. Okay. Smells good. Baseball player. Oh, it's going to fall. Yeah, a little yarn area here too.
Coming, sweetie.
I'm gonna move that area right here. You want to be good? Bird? He won't rain tomorrow. Oh, a hurl over there.
Oh my God. That's the monster. That is so good. That big white one.
And there's another rat over here.
Gross.
Yeah, they're ripping that apart.
Can I have the map back so that we don't have to back to
And guess what, Dad?
So,
We got axolotls and we got
here?
a white and pink axolotl inside on the very other end.
Oh,
where the
give me.
cocktails.
Thank you.
We've only seen black ones, and I was like,
Boy fish. Thank you. Haha, boy fish right there. Okay. Nice. Oh. There's a little waterfall right here too. Oh, Tennessee.
Yeah. Yes.
I was talking about home.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes, you know it. Have a good day.
Oh, darn bush right there with me. I do. Oh, darn bush. Right there. It must be outside. Oh.
let's go see what can we see. What can we see?
There's an American bird right here. American ball eagle right there too.
You were never drinking your Dr. Pepper?
A beautiful bird. American vine right there.
That was started taking my careful.
It's all right watching the video. We will like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.
Did you guys hear that? How old they were? He told us. 100.
Oh, can I have my please?
Crazy, huh?
Alright, should we go see other exhibits here? Oh wait, come over. Oh, they make noises.
Wow.
He's slow, isn't he?
Oh, he's coming for a pet.
Big guy.
Is it a snapping? No, it's not. You can touch it.
Oh,
Oh, my foot.
let's watch out, guys. Watch your feet. He's coming out.
He's coming right out.
Oh, he did? That's why we gotta watch out a little bit, because he will step on you.
Watch out, Colvin.
Hey, poor thing. You.
You guys, sorry.
So that would be a good Dove commercial. Yeah, right?
Yeah, wonderful forest. And we're in a wonderful island here. West of South continent, South America.
I don't want that anymore.
That one's a little social butterfly over there.
And this one here. Dad. 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 I want the turtle jump in there. Turtle.
Hello?
Jump in there.
There's a baby walking some forest in here. There's a lot of moonlight there too. There's a lot of moonlight there.
Mommy! It's a baby one.
Oh, a cactus is there too. There's a cactus and stuff like that. Madagascar palm. Pretty interesting. Spring Creek Gulch is there. Hey, what? I'll have a guy taking a crap right there too. Madison Muffin Bakery here. Oh, you're out right here for you. $200. $10 here too. There's a bowling alley here with a little pay over here too. here. Want to get alive here. Be with me too. Yeah, with you too or what? Barber shop here?
Think you got smarts? Think you can there, feller. For a small price, old Pappy will tell you how much you don't know.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I got a bill with me too, but old Pappy is here too. Fortune teller. Hang on. Here. I'm a little bit short. Oh boy. $1 5 fries, 2 player. We'll split her.
Look at me.
Put the old jailhouse in here too. Put the old jailhouse. Get out of here, Hopper.
I feel like you can tell a lot about them.
You're too close. Pay attention, you're not going to drive.
Nope, fully flighted. They have all their flight feathers intact. They're on a leash. That's how we keep them from going all over the place.
No, yeah, okay.
The only reason they have to fly here is if something spooks them. Usually it's a couple seconds and then they fly.
Oh, that's a nice bird. Oh, parrot, right there. Do these parrots hop?
They do when they want to,
Oh.
but they're pretty stubborn.
Oh. I heard him say for fancy word.
Are they staying up there?
Already saying something like yeah and stuff like that.
Yeah, they just sit like that.
Yeah. Okay, over here. Reptile hop. Very interesting. California condor. Right here too. There's both on the reptile hop. California condor.
I've seen the Asian, but wow, that is
Oscar, 9 feet. Halfway. One more.
To the turkey boat. Yeah.
Hey, everything.
I'm outside.
Oh, that's a parrot
He got
there.
pretty clean. Oh, there's. Oh, it's the same. Yeah, it's called the king.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there's anything else in there.
Okay, over
It's called the
here.
king. How tall?
Got it.
Long owl is here too. Owl is here.
Most men can generate 70.
Beautiful owl is here too.
That is crazy.
If the talons don't kill you.
That must be a bald eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's about 9 years old.
9 years old?
Yep. His name is Washaka Itan.
Well, that's nice.
That means proud and strong.
Hey man, that sounds good. A famous bird.
Yep.
I think I heard they say bald eagle can now be American bird.
Yeah, it's officially in the paperwork now.
Yeah.
It was just kind of the honorary bird, but now it's official.
Yeah.
Hey, folks.
More yarning up here. We have a good show. I'll take it all in here. I got flowers here too. Cool playground area over here. Hey, you. There's a storm thing over there. There's a powery cloud going over there. That'll be over every channel. Over here, that's a cute little prairie out here.
I think there
This way, dude. Oh, they're looking to get it?
See a snake?
And on there. possible plants. That palm trees are too. Nice little palm tree there. Couple palm trees here. You know, plant trees too. That's all I don't do. Now there's a big palm tree right here. Looks pretty cool. There's a big palm tree right here. Everyone. Looks pretty cool. One big palm tree there. That's what kind of palm tree that is. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, palm tree right here. I thought it was really pretty nice. I see one big palm tree over there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What kind of palm tree is that?
That one? A big one back there?
Yeah, a big one, a tall one.
Yeah.
Banana palm?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hoping for you, banana. For you. Look at that. I don't know. Fine, something like that right here too. That's pretty cool. Nice tree right there too. And yeah, palm tree right here too. I think the snake show's gonna start. Yeah, he's doing all the way wrong. This one looks like. I'm actually watching a waterfall. It's a nice palm right here too. That's how it's an island anyway. There's no problem anyway. Cool. Nice time. Oh, how cute! Oh, goodness. It's my favorite game.
Oh, Mario.
Oh, look below. That's a good. Hey, 8-way. There's a few right here. Yeah. He's Buckingham red meat ranch over here. 8 ways. Oh, roller deal we have right here too. There's a hot room over there too.
It is a scorpion. Oh my gosh. Cockroaches.
Eight way. Hot wheel.
I don't see anybody in there. Always right there. See that here, ladies?
Oh guys, look, there's a spider. There's a
There's a bark scorpion. Wow. That thing is huge.
Wow. I'm very fire right there too. Need more fire. I'm in there too. Oh, you're right there. Anyway. Maybe Cranny. Okay. Right, good. That was pretty good. Ribbit. Wow, look at them.
Is that something?
Yeah. Bullfrog. Oh, the arrow moves from so that you see it. And that'd be like hiding. Oh, the arrow crawl right here. See it? 9-point arrow crawl. There's a mower right here. Yeah, a mower right here. Sea sparrow right here. 5 river sparrow right here. Fishy. Yeah. 5 rivers there. That's not you. I think that one yet. There's me, yeah. You were eating that. Me, yeah. There's me, yeah. warm?
This guy can
Maybe how the
eat
air is.
you in one bite. Look at all of his teeth. Look at all of his teeth. I see it.
Here's a crocodile right here for you. That's pretty good.
Yeah, this one, these are
Yeah. Now a crocodile. Now a crocodile. Now a crocodile. What's now? Oh, really? Look at that. There's a Johnson crocodile over here too. Over Australia. Got a few of them. There's a small snake right here too. Highway biker. There's a boa. This is a king snake right here. No man. Brown snake here. Here, and take a rest. This is that large here. Kind of a yellow monster right here too. A yellow monster here. Kind of the desert is just like that here too. Kearney, Arizona, South New Mexico. Pretty boa, and he's over there. There's one over there too, so you see it. There's a Colvin hanging over there. Rest of life. Higher. That's a cobra. He's over there. See it. Python here. We're in river. There's something over there. See it? Australia water dragon. King of Basking. In here. There's a snake right here too. Oh, it's kind of round snake right here too. Alright, in a minute. Rhinoceros viper is here too. Grand Canyon rattlesnake are here too. Pit viper is here too. Wait a minute. Bottling thing is pine snake. Oh hey, over there. And nothing here too. My hair rattlesnake right here. Hey, break rattlesnake. Horn viper. Tail. Snake. Cottonmouth. Hanging a rock here too. Arizona black rattlesnake. He's hiding his head hanging over there. What happens to this common viper in here? Ball of snake. Black snake over there. You can get your black rattlesnake. A couple of them. One over there. And one over there too. Monitor right here too. Kearney monitor. Yeah, monitor right here too. That looks different. Black mamba over here. Black mamba. Yeah, that mamba over there. Oh, Taipei. Coming from Yankee here. Mine.
That's a breakfast right there, man. This would cut off.
Well, it was Taipei was like too.
Weird.
I don't see it. Oh, yeah, I am there. That's otter. The king cobra, the longest venomous snake in the world. And what? The king cobra, the longest venomous snake in the world. The longest venomous in the world. Yeah, that's the king cobra, everyone. have this over right here too. Pythons here.
Bull snake and rattlesnake together and they live?
Yeah, water cobra right here too. Africa here. And hanging over
I'm
there.
not happy about it though. Big rattle there.
Hurry rattlesnake. Pretty snake. Green mamba right here too. Pretty cool. Grand Cayman blue and Wonga. Hiya. Hey Wonga. Hey Cobra.
We're still looking over here.
Holy crap.
Did that scare you?
I hear oh, we have for here.
Good. So, my name is Ben, and I want to welcome you to the Black Hills and the Reptile Gardens. Now, before I get started, I just want to point some things out about myself and the park around us. So, I'm still pretty new to these shows. So, if you came here looking for somebody to die, I'm your guy. Now, just to point a couple things around us. To my left, you're going to see Avian Avenue. That's going to be where all the raptors, parrots, scary things that fly. The only thing you will not see down there is me. Yep, terrified of birds. However, behind you guys over here is going to be our dome. In there is going to be almost all of the exhibits. And in there is going to be Maniac. He's one of the largest crocodiles in the country right now. It's just a little over around 1,300 pounds, I believe. If he's not there and you don't see him, please let us know. He is supposed to be there. Yeah. However, I think I am just going to get started here. So, obviously, all the animals in this enclosure are reptiles. They belong to a group of reptiles called crocodilians. This group consists of 4 types. The alligator, crocodile, caiman, and gharial. We have 3 out of the 4 types in here for you. I'll try my best to point them all out. So these guys all in the water here, and this big kind of clump over here, these are all going to be American alligators. Then we have one big girl right here. This is a saltwater crocodile, so the same species as Maniac in the dome there, just a lot smaller. And then this big guy, that kind of looks like Sid the Sloth. This is a slender-snouted crocodile. Let's see if I can find some of our caiman. Carl. Where are you? Ah, here's Carl. So this little guy right here, this is a Yakare caiman. His name's Carl. He's a lot of people's favorites. Kind of scary. Now, in this way back corner is going to be just a little head popping up behind the alligator. That's going to be a smooth-fronted caiman. Then we have one more in here. This is a Nile crocodile. These guys, very scary as well. However, there are a few different ways to tell alligators and crocodiles apart. These one probably is going to be the head shape. Now alligators, they're going to have more of a rectangular head or square shape, while crocodiles, or at least a typical crocodile, is going to have more of this triangular shape. Another way to tell them apart is that alligators are semi-tropical. That is, they are found where it gets cool during the winter months. Being reptiles, their body temperature is that of their surroundings. So when they are cold, their metabolism slows down, they stop eating, and then they become dormant. Crocodiles are found in the parts of the world where it stays warm year-round, so they are active and feeding year-round. Alligators are going to be found in the southeastern part of the United States, and strangely enough, way over on the other side of the world in the Yangtze River Valley in China. Crocodiles, they're going to be found throughout the tropics. The caiman, a close relative of the alligator, is going to be found in southern Mexico, Central, and South America. The gharial is going to be found in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. Now with crocodilians, people often ask which one eats people. Well, they're all carnivorous. That is, they eat meat. They can even be cannibalistic and eat each other. This isn't really a matter of if they're going to eat us or not, but a matter of opportunity. One that presents itself more frequently in the jungle or outback. Now in Africa, where the Nile crocodile is found, people must go to rivers and streams to get their water and wash their clothes. As a result of this, it has been claimed that more people are killed and eaten by the Nile crocodile than by all other wild animals on that continent combined. So we could say that that crocodile is the true man-eater. But they're not really that fussy. They've been known to go for women as well. Yeah, best joke of the day, guys. It's just going to go downhill from there. Now when everybody's looking in the animals in this arena, they often like to ask, are they all dead? Possibly, this is due to the absolute great deal of activity we're witnessing. I bet you thought when I would walk out that door I'd have to run for my life because they'd be chasing me down. Yeah, not these guys. They're pretty lazy, just like me. But being reptiles, they are cold-blooded. They generate no heat of their own and develop no nervous energy. So they have no energy to waste. If an alligator has nothing to do, that is precisely what he will do. Absolutely nothing. And as you can see, they are really good at it. Even if they have something to do, like find food, this too can be accomplished by doing nothing. Like lions and tigers, they are carnivorous creatures, but a lion or a tiger is a warm-blooded animal. One that is capable of stalking its prey, and one that has the endurance to run it down. With crocodilians, we are dealing with cold-blooded creatures that do not have the endurance to stalk its prey. And as far as running down a prey animal is concerned, one good look at the alligator will tell us it's not built to run. They have a heavy body and tail, and short, stubby, comparatively weak legs. This does not mean they cannot run, however, as a 6-foot alligator could probably outrun a human for a short distance. But many of the animals they prey on can run faster than a human, so a crocodilian doesn't try. He does absolutely nothing. They rely on their ability to lay motionless and blend in with their surroundings. A crocodile will lay in the water submerged with just its eyes above the surface. Like this guy here is demonstrating, and for you guys over here, it's going to be like these three. However, that croc or gator will then quietly sink underwater, swim over, and then grab whatever part of the animal it can get a hold of. If that prey animal is small enough, he'll just simply swallow it whole. Now if that prey animal is too large to be swallowed whole, let's say for like a deer, he'll drag it to the bottom to drown it. There he's going to dismember it at his own leisure. Now they're not restricted to this one method of catching prey. They can be effective on land as well. On land, they simply lay motionless, as you see them now, and again, do nothing, waiting for something to come close enough to just simply swing to the side and grab it. Now they're comparatively slow animals when it comes to running, but amazingly quick at striking. Possibly I can demonstrate to you just how fast they can move. While I'm at it, I'll demonstrate how to restrain an alligator. Now perhaps you've heard, you can hold a very large alligator's mouth shut with just a moderately strong pair of hands. I won't go so far as to say you can hold the world's largest alligator's mouth shut, but I can say the average person has sufficient strength in the hands to overpower the muscles that open the jaws of a 6 to 7 foot alligator. The only problem with this is that the alligator might not want to cooperate. He might not sit still long enough for you to reach down, grab his mouth and hold it shut. He might simply turn around and walk away, or twist and roll away from you. Now there are techniques for dealing with alligators that I'll demonstrate, and who knows, someday you may be in Florida and think to yourself, wow, that alligator on the side of the road, I want to hold his mouth shut. Don't know what reason for, maybe you want to keep him as a pet, I don't know, that's your thing. But the first thing I will need is an alligator. And I'm guessing you guys all want me to get a big, mean alligator, right? Yeah? Okay.
Sit back down.
Yeah, you guys are gonna watch me get outsmarted by an alligator. That's how you know I'm not very bright. There we go. Is the one I want? You are the one I want. Yes. Thank you. Okay. I have my volunteer. Alright, I'm just gonna go for a little while. So, the first thing you want to do when you get your volunteer is get on his back. There's one very important thing when getting on his back, and that is that you don't overshoot. I think you know why. But you then want to get your knees in his armpits and your feet turned inward behind his hind feet. This keeps the alligator from backing up from underneath you, and there's also very many problems with that as well. You'll then want to get a grip of the alligator's jaws. You do this by placing your hands on his neck, sliding your hands up and over the jaws, forcing them shut as you go along. Then you immediately lean back with his head. Holding in this position keeps him from twisting or rolling, as that is the first thing he's going to attempt to do to free himself. Now you may notice I am going to occasionally cover his eyes. This seems to quiet the alligator. I was told if you cover an alligator's eyes, he won't move because he thinks he's dead. So I like to have some fun. I like to come up here and cover only one eye, you know. Now does he think he's half dead? I think the reason for that is the brain is about the size of a walnut. You can picture a walnut, it's not very big, right? Yeah, that's about the size of my brain. But it's about 2 times the size. Oh. Sit. Sit. Look at that. Call me Dr. Doolittle. So while we're here, I would like to call your attention to a couple of other things about alligators. An alligator is an amphibious reptile, not an amphibian. An amphibian is a frog, toad, or salamander. They can spend a lot of their time in the water and some of that time underwater. They can hold their breath for several hours at a time. Now the length of time they can hold their breath depends on how warm or cold they are, and how active they are determines on how fast they burn up oxygen. Now these guys, they are well adapted to an aquatic lifestyle. I'll see if I can get him to open his mouth for a look at one adaptation here.
Look. It's not a breakfast.
Now, you guys in the front, you guys can probably see it best. You actually will probably notice.
Wait.
You guys gotta, you guys gotta watch him for me, okay? Make sure I don't die. I don't want to trust you, though.
We'll watch.
Oh, look at them all. Look at them all watching.
Now, you'll probably notice you actually can't see down the alligator's throat. This is because the back of the tongue operates as a valve. So he can open his mouth underwater without taking in any water. So you'll never see down an alligator's throat, except when you catch him yawning, or if you're on the way down yourself. Don't take me, dear friend. Do not take me, dear friend. Thank you. So the nostrils are going to be equipped with valves that close when the animal submerges. Their eyes are going to be elevated on top of the skull. This permits the alligator to submerge with just its eyes. Don't. You're a lot scarier. I don't think I can say sit to that one. Go back. Back to where you came from. Sit. I paid diving show. It's gonna scoot over.
Close to the other one now,
Now their eyes, you watch them open, you'll notice that they appear to roll. This is the secondary eyelid, also known as the nictitating membrane. This is like a pair of built-in diving goggles. Now their ears, they're also behind the eyes, and they too are equipped with valves. So as you see, these guys are very well adapted to an aquatic lifestyle. Now comes one of the most important parts about alligator wrestling, and that's getting off the alligator. You know, it's very important to get on, but you need to find a way to get off as well. There's a few things you need to do. You want to cover his eyes, make sure he's all nice and dead. Then you want to look around you, make sure none of his friends are coming to sneak up. Yeah, like that one. Now, make sure none of them are coming up. And then you want to jump. Jump in the correct direction. Yeah, don't go forward, go backwards. If you don't know the difference, I would learn. But, let's see what happens here now. Stay. Okay, let's give Walter here a round of applause. And I think he was just being polite. He wanted to get on the sand, but didn't want to get too close, Let's hope. So, their teeth, they're going to be conical in shape, round and pointed. With a tooth of this nature, a crocodilian cannot bite chunks off of something. Now, if that prey animal is too large to be swallowed whole, the croc will violently shake to tear it apart. If there are other equally hungry crocs and gators around, they too will get a hold of the animal, spin their bodies in the water, tearing out chunks of meat they can swallow whole. When we feed them here, the meat is cut up small enough to swallow. If we allow them to tear the food apart as they would in the wild, we'd see many injuries, as they do tend to get a bit careless. But I do just have a little meat here for you, and I'll show you all how we feed them. Now we try to feed them at every show. By doing this, it won't be too long before they associate me with food. Ultimately, it wouldn't be too long before I ended up as food. When I first started here, I told my boss I didn't want a bunch of crocs and gators thinking of me as food. So, we taught them to associate a bucket and a sound signal with food instead. Now the sound signal is me pounding on the bucket. Why don't we see what happens? They all know what time it is. Okay. Maybe I don't even need to. They already know. Now once they hear the sound, they should know dinner is served. Oh, you just missed. I'm feeding them chicken, but any type of fish, fowl, or red meat is acceptable.
Look at that one.
Now as I mentioned, what? Okay. Now as I mentioned earlier, you'll notice everything is being swallowed whole.
What else is here? And tigers.
Let's give one to Walter. Walter, you are a great one.
Well, they have a playground here.
There you go. Good job, Walter. Now, since they have limited vision, due to their eyes being on top of the head, they have a hard time seeing anything that's not above them. They're going to see the meat move, they're going to hear it hit the ground, and after that, it's just a matter of feeling for it. Now notice how they tilt their head to the side to pick up that piece of meat. Their heads are too long and their necks are too short to easily stick their face out in front of them and just pick something up. Now due to that valve in the throat that enables them to open their mouth underwater, they can't actually swallow underwater. Oh, it's going to go towards you.
Boy, angry pit off from her guy over there.
Now you'll probably notice not all of the alligators in here are being fed. Being large carnivorous reptiles, they can fast for amazing periods of time without any harmful effects. Some individuals may eat only once per week. Now, in Africa, there is a population of Nile crocodiles that eat only once per year when the wildebeest herds pass through. So if someone here misses a meal, they're not really going to have a problem waiting a couple of hours for the next feeding. Now, I do just have one more piece of chicken. Does anybody have any suggestions on where it should go? The little one? Do you want to know that one's name? Harmony. Alright, so that was my last piece of chicken. I do just have one more surprise for you, and I will be right back. Now this is Fluffy. Fluffy here is a 2-year-old American alligator. Now alligators, they are egg-laying reptiles. The female will be mature at around 5 feet in length. She's going to build her nest out of leaves and other vegetation. She's going to use her hind legs to rake the leaves into a mound and from there deposit anywhere between 12 to 60 hard-shelled eggs about the size of a hen's egg. The eggs are then incubated by nature. Heat from the sun and fermentation of that vegetation will heat the nest to the proper degree. An alligator generates no heat of her own, so sitting on that nest will not aid in the incubation process. The mother gator, though, will guard that nest vigorously for the next 60 to 70 day incubation period. When those eggs are ready to hatch, the babies will make a croaking noise from inside the egg. This will trigger the mother's instincts to open the nest and carry the babies to the water from inside her mouth. Frequently, this actually involves her opening the eggs as well. She'll then protect those babies for sometimes over a year. There have been cases of mothers protecting the babies for 2 consecutive years. When this happens, she sometimes has to prevent last year's batch from eating this year's babies. So if you have any siblings out there, just be thankful they're not trying to eat you right now. Now the hatchlings are going to be about 8 to 10 inches in length and come out of the egg fully equipped to hunt on their own. Like the adults, they'll feed on anything they can catch and kill themselves. So this can be like snails, frogs, little kids wearing pink. No, vicious. But like I was saying, this is Fluffy. I'll give you all the opportunity to see what Fluffy feels like. I'll meet you on the other side of the glass, where there you can pet Fluffy, take photos, pet me, whatever you're feeling, I guess. But I do want to say you guys have been a wonderful audience, and thank you again for coming to Reptile.
All right, hello everybody, how are we doing today? Perfect. My name is Connor, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the Black Hills and Reptile Gardens. Today, I'm going to be doing the snake show for you guys. Now, before I get started with the snake show, I usually do like to point out a few attractions we have here at the Reptile Gardens, especially if you've never been here before. So, first of all, right over here is going to be our prairie dog town. Right behind this building is going to be our giant tortoise yard. We have Alligator tortoises, which is the second largest species of tortoise in the world. The first is, of course, the Galapagos tortoise. Behind that is Cheyenne, our bald eagle. Right back down this sidewalk is going to be our gator arena. I will be doing the next gator show. Ben just did his for the day. Ben, if you saw it, this is his, this might be his second week of shows ever. So he's doing a pretty good job. Second week of shows. That being said, he did get bit by a venomous snake 4 days ago. So, he's having a little rough time with the snake shows, but the gator shows are doing good. So, now, and to be fair, I've done these shows for 5 years. I've never been bit by a venomous snake. So, we don't know how he got bit, but we're trying to figure it out. We can't really. So, you know, if you see him around, just ask him what happened on Tuesday. He'll love to answer that. And then that show's next hour. Behind that is our avian avenue where a lot of our birds are. Also, don't forget to see all the exhibits in the dome. There's 3 areas to the dome. There's upstairs, downstairs, and then the safari room on the inside. The upstairs has almost all of our snakes. A lot of them are venomous. There's some monitored lizards up there as well. The downstairs, the lower ring, has a lot of crocodilians. Towards the end of the lower ring is our amphibians, like frogs, salamanders. And then at the very end of the lower ring is our invertebrates, or our bugs. If you don't like bugs, walk right past them. If you don't like alligators, bugs, frogs, lizards, snakes, turtles, any of them, you can just go inside the safari room and look at flowers for the rest of the day. There's plenty of cool flowers there and on ground. In the safari room, there are, however, a bunch of free-roaming lizards. They don't even come onto the green path, though. Don't worry about them. And then there is one snake that is not in a cage. It is in the safari room. It's on a branch, like this high. It only falls from that branch like 3 times a day. So, you should be fine. Just watch out. It's not really a joke. So, whatever you want with that. But, with that being said, I'll get right into the show. Let's talk a little bit about reptiles, specifically snakes. Snakes are reptiles. They're also vertebrate creatures. It means they have a spine or a backbone just like we do. They also have lungs and a heart, breathe air just like we do, blood flow like us. They're cold-blooded. That means that their body temperature is the same as that of their surroundings. There's 5 main types of reptiles living today. The first 2 types are the most familiar. They belong to the order Squamata, snakes and the lizards. The third group is the testudineates, turtles, tortoises, and terrapins. And then the 4th group is the crocodilians, alligators, crocodiles, caiman, and the gharials. And the 5th and final group of reptiles is the order Spinodontia. There's only one living animal in that order left. It is called a tuatara. It is a very rare animal. They are only found on some small islands in New Zealand. They're pretty cool animals. They do honestly, though, kind of just look like an iguana. But fun fact about them, they have a 3rd eye. It's called a parietal eye. It's right on the top of their head. Guess what it does? Nothing at all. So, scientists aren't really sure why they have it, but they do. So, the more you know. Now, I'll stop yapping. I'll just bring up snake. I know that's what everyone wants to see. But before I bring up the first snake, usually do like to ask 2 crucial questions. The first one is, how many of you actually like snakes? Okay, great. So like all the kids, 5 adults. Now the important question. Who here is absolutely terrified of snakes? Doesn't like them at all? Hands. Perfect. You're going to volunteer for the show. So, now, first thing I want to bring out is a relatively harmless species of snake. Oh, you're a new guy. I say relatively because they got a mouth they can bite. Now, oh, you're super cool. I've never seen this one before. So, don't bite me. This is called a yellow-tailed cribo, but I'm not too sure. You bite? No. But I'm not too sure what's happening here. It's a whitetail. Huh. I don't know why it's like that. But they're named yellow-tailed cribos. Usually their tails are supposed to be yellow, but this guy's really cool. He's not going to be cool when he bites me. What? He's cool. Alright. You guys might wonder what that is. He has a water bowl. He was just drinking. Their throats are not like ours. They don't have a valve. I tipped him upside down. All that water flew right back out. So, sorry, guy. He's got to go back. He's got to drink again. That's my fault. I apologize. Don't bite me for that. Actually, I'd understand. That's a soul, you know that? No, so this is called a yellow-tailed crebo. It's also called a Drymarchion four-eye for all you big nerds out there. That's a scientific name, and it's very typical. Don't know that. You leaped there. That's not at all. For those of you who couldn't see, he went in, showed my armpit, and threw there. Now, they're a typical snake. They're commonly found in, down south in South America and Central America. You see what he's doing with his tongue right there? Everyone knows what he's doing, right? Exactly. It means he wants to kill you. No, you guys are right. There's, of course, snake sense of smell. Snake sense of smell is probably the single most important sense. As a rule, it relies on that over almost any other, especially when it comes to identifying food. This animal eats similar to other snakes, but not similar to any other animal in the world, really. And that is it. If it sees something it wants to eat, it's just going to swallow it. If you bite it, it's going to start to swallow it. It doesn't care if it's alive or dead. And yeah, hey, you turd. I felt it, you. That drop of blood, all that for a drop of blood, huh? Dang it, I don't want to get bit today. Nope, he's doing it.
We're gonna go tell Ben now.
Start over. Yeah, well, this isn't Ben. Ben got bit by a venomous snake, so. You can go. So, glad someone's having fun. Dang it. He did bite me. It wasn't as bad as the last one that you can still see. He really bit me. There's blood everywhere, but it's alright.
How often do you get bit?
Way more than I want to admit. I remember the second year I was doing snake shows, we got all new crebos. We bought one and one of them was pregnant, so there's a bunch of them. And then 2 years after that, they were ready to be used for snake shows. I got bit every show, all summer. Like, no joke, like my hands were destroyed. My mom did not appreciate that. She still doesn't like that I'm doing this job, and I'm 22 years old. So, but that's mom's job. So, that snake, it eats anything. If it's alive or dead, it doesn't care. It's just going to throw it into its mouth and swallow. That's dangerous for the snake, though, because when something's still alive, it is going to fight back. It is going to fight back hard. Do you have a question? What's your question? What's the most dangerous snake I've ever dealt with? That's a good question. Probably a brown forest cobra. But I did that down in Africa. So not here. We don't have it. But here, probably a monocle cobra. That's probably the most dangerous. But, yeah, those bites would suck. There's really no better words to say. So, it's a lot easier to kill what you want to eat before you try and swallow it. You got a question?
What is the most venomous snake?
What's the most venomous snake we have? It's a very good question. I'll get back to that later in the show. It's a perfect question, actually. Now, you guys probably all saw, usually I say, hey, who wants to see a cute little snake? Everyone's like, oh, I do. And I open this box. A lot of you guys already saw what's in the box. So, the joke's true. But, this snake kills what it wants to eat before it tries to swallow it. It's a lot safer for the snake. So, this is a Burmese python. A lot of people think it's a boa constrictor. It's not. Boa constrictors and Burmese pythons are fairly large as far as snakes go. They are not one of the true giants of the snake world. The true giants of the snake world are the green anaconda, which can grow up to 25 feet long and weigh over 400 pounds. And then the reticulated python, which is found in southeastern Asia, that is the longest snake in the world. There's some records that say that snake reached up to 33 feet long. That is enormous. Now, like I was saying, this is a Burmese python. This is actually a small Burmese python. Burmese pythons can also get to 20 feet, just under 200 pounds. So, that's why I usually say, cute little snake. This is an albino Burmese python. They're found in southeastern Asia. They're not venomous. They're also the ones that are invasive down in Florida that you hear about all the time. And again, they're a constrictor. They have to strike and bite what they want first. He's not just going to wrap me up for no reason. If he wants to constrict me, he's going to bite me first, and then he's going to do it. They throw coils around you very fast. It happens like in an instant, like a blur. Then everyone knows they squeeze very hard. A lot of people don't know though, they don't really crush their prey to death like we often think, and they don't even necessarily suffocate their prey to death either. Both of those can happen. What a lot of times happens though is this snake is squeezing that prey animal's chest cavity so tightly, there's no longer any more room in the prey animal's chest cavity for the heart to continue beating, so it stops beating. You can imagine once the heart stops, the prey animal rapidly dies. Question? Huh? Why is it colored like a banana? It's albino. It means a lack of pigmentation. So usually they're brown, green, white, and black, a bunch of different colors, but people think this color looks better, so they breed them for it. I think it looks better too. This is Maryland, because she's blonde. So, you'll get that. Yeah, so once the prey animal's dead, everything, you got a question? You go. What's your question? Has the snake ever gone up here? I lost a snake behind there once. That was not fun. That was my first year. I had to get someone to help me get it out. And it was a really mean Burmese python. And then 2 days later, he bit me on the leg and wrapped my leg up. So, yeah, that was another bite that I had. So, there's a lot of them. Okay, what was I saying? It's got to eat. Everything's got to eat, including the snake. They don't have any limbs though. They have no arms, no hands, no fingers. They can't shove food into their face like we all do. What a snake has to do is it has to swallow everything whole. And it's not a big deal for a snake. They have a couple adaptations that help them do that. First of all, their teeth are curved towards the throat. This snake is like fish hooks. And then also snakes don't have a chin. Their bottom two jawbones are not connected to each other. The only limit to how wide a snake can open its mouth is the limit the skin can stretch. Since snake's skin is very elastic, very stretchy, the snake can swallow prey several times its own diameter. Now, constriction is not just restricted to these big snakes. Like 50% of all snakes use constriction to kill, and it's very efficient. But it has the same drawback that Creepo does. The animal's still alive for a lot of that prolonged physical contact. It can be dangerous for the snake, it can hurt the snake. It's a lot safer to use venom to kill something. It's not a lot of contact. It's safest for the snake. So you're going to notice the rest of the snakes I handle today, I will be using a snake hook. That's because I don't want to get bit by the rest of the snakes. All the rest of the snakes are venomous. So this next snake I'm bringing out was the one that bit Ben. It wasn't the specific snake, but it was the kind of snake. That bit Ben, it is called a mangrove snake, or also known as a gold-ringed cat snake. This one's significantly worse than the one that bit Ben, so great for me. Not really. Okay, so like I said, mangrove snake. Now, this belongs to that group of snakes, the rear fang venomous snakes. Rear fang snakes cannot truly inject their venom into their prey. Instead, they have enlarged teeth at the back of their mouths with channels and grooves in it. They have to bite their prey, chew it, work it towards the rear of their mouth where their fangs are actually located, and then just keep holding on to the prey animal long enough for their venom to run from their glands down through the channels and grooves in their enlarged teeth and into their prey animal's wound. It's pretty easy to imagine how this system evolved. When we realize that even the deadliest forms of venom are just a modified form of saliva. Not only does this snake's saliva aid in killing its prey, it also aids in digesting it. So, we think that the early snakes developed channels and grooves in their teeth in order to more efficiently allow saliva to flow into their prey for more efficient digestion. That's not supposed to happen. Now I know why. Yeah.
Oh boy, okay.
Quiet, brothers. Keep going. Give me that. Alright, well, that's enough of that guy. I hate my job. So, a lot of those rear-fanged snakes are actually pretty harmless creatures the size of human beings. Doesn't mean I don't want to get bit by the snake. I don't want to get bit by the snake at all. There's no anti-venom for the snake. No one's ever died from the snake, but I don't want to be the first. So, now, what was I saying? Oh, those rear fangs, they're not that efficient, and many of the rear fang snakes aren't really that dangerous to humans. There are two, though. Both of them are found in Africa that are rear fang venomous that are very dangerous. They have killed people before. One of them is the African savanna vine snake that has killed one person, a little girl in South Africa many years ago, and then the boomslang, which is actually the most toxic snake on the entire continent of Africa. The boomslang is more venomous than all of the mambas, including the black mamba. You do not want to get bit by a boomslang. If you're bit by a boomslang, you're going to bleed out of every orifice in your body. Like 48 hours until you either die or get better. So, don't get bit by a boomslang. Luckily for me, that snake's nothing like a boomslang. Now, even more efficient than the rear fang snake's means of injecting venom can be found in the front fang snakes, which are divided into two groups, the elapids and the vipers. In your typical elapid, you have the cobras, coral snakes, the mambas, and the taipans. In the typical elapid, their fangs are at the very front of their mouth. They're stuck fixed, giving the slightest hit from that snake will embed those fangs, and they're hollow tubes like a hypodermic needle. So their fangs their venom goes through their fangs. It's very fast envenomation. It's much more efficient than the rear fang snakes, but even more efficient than the rear fang snakes and the elapids venom systems can be found in the vipers of the world. This viper that I'm going to bring out is very common. The southeastern part of the United States, when you've probably seen it before. This is cottonmouth. It's also known as a water moccasin. It is a viper. Like all vipers, it has very long fangs in the front of its mouth. They are so long, in fact, they were stuck fixed. Like the elapids I was just talking about, they'd actually stick right to the bottom of their mouth. So, viper fangs are foldable. They fold onto the roof of their mouth when they do not use them. Vipers also have the ability to open their mouths up to almost 180 degrees so that their fangs basically stick right out in front of them when they strike. This means this snake doesn't even have to actually physically bite anything. All it has to do is strike, open mouth, fangs out, barely make any contact with whatever it is. Their fangs are just as sharp as hypodermic needles. They act just like them. Their venom is almost instantly injected. And then they just have to sit back and wait for whatever it is to come to the venom. And if whatever it is runs away, you track it down with their excellent sense of smell. This is by far the maximum amount of efficiency, while also being the safest for a snake while killing something. Now, this snake also belongs to a special group of snakes known as the pit vipers. Pit vipers are called that because they have a small heat-seeking pit between their eyes and their nostrils. It's very good at detecting temperature differences. They can detect hundreds of a degree difference in the air temperature around them. They use this to accurately locate and sense warm-blooded prey. They're very good at it. Now, to answer your question from before, where'd you go? There you go. Okay. Well, he asked which snake's the deadliest, or which snake's the most dangerous we have here. We have both of what are considered to be the deadliest snakes. So there's usually two definitions for the deadliest snake. Either the one with the most toxic venom, or the one that bites and kills the most people each year. We do have both of them. If you think that the deadliest snake is the one with the most toxic venom, that is the inland taipan. We do have two of them upstairs in the dome. Inland taipans, all it takes is 1 milligram of their venom. That's like if you took an M&M. Hey, go in your box, not at me. That's like if you took an M&M, cut it up into 1,000 equally sized pieces. One of those little pieces has enough to kill a full-grown adult, technically a male. So women, you're okay. No, you are not. And every time they bite, they can inject it to 100 milligrams into something. So you could say one bite from that snake can kill 100 men. You would not be wrong to assume that. However, they are only found in one place in the wild. It is very remote, very centralized. Guess where? Australia. Where else would they be? Of course they are. Again, though, we do have 2 of them upstairs in the dome. They're in a cage, though. Don't worry about them. And then, if you think that the deadliest snake is the snake that actually bites and kills most people each year, it's going to be a lot more fun to show you that snake. So, now, before I bring the snake out, it's kind of hard to see him. So, everyone who's sitting down right here, just stay seated right there. So don't stand up. You're welcome to sit right along the glass. But if you stand up, sometimes it gets hard to see him. And you know, if the worst happens, if this snake bites me, I need everyone to see it so I can get insurance money. So, stay seated. No, I'm joking. Now, if you think that the deadliest snake is the one that bites and kills most people each year, I can kind of take a guess between 4 different snakes as to which one it is. They're all found in India. They're all very venomous, and they kind of change every year on which one kills the most people each year. All of them together are responsible for about 100,000 deaths. And a lot of you have probably heard of it before, especially the one we show. You've definitely seen it before, if not on the internet somewhere, then like movies or TV. Especially if you've seen the Indiana Jones movies, and you've definitely seen it before. It is, of course, going to be known as the common garter snake. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, no. This is an Asiatic cobra. It's also known as a monocled cobra. When I bring a cobra out, a lot of people think of a snake charmer that plays the flute for a snake that seems to be swaying back and forth to the rhythm of the music. Like all snakes, this cobra's got no ears. He's not listening to the music. He's just following the motion of the snake charmer as he himself sways back and forth. Again, there's no listening to the music in any way. Now, you guys saw he struck at the glass. So a cobra strike is a lot different than every other snake on the planet. A cobra strike is pretty weird. You know, they sit in that high hood, and it's kind of this forward and downward motion. That downward motion gets stopped by the glass here, so it kind of just looks like he's going forward. But you guys also notice, it was pretty slow. It's really slow for a snake strike. It's so slow, in fact, a fully alert person could very easily be able to come on stage, get within this cobra's striking range, allow him to strike, and then just easily avoid being bitten. Can I get a volunteer from the audience? Yeah, put your hands down. That's a joke. How you die of venomous snake bite. No. Now, the most iconic part about this cobra is, of course, that hood that he was very proudly displaying earlier. And that hood is formed by erecting these really long ribs in his neck region. He does this when he feels threatened in order to make himself appear larger, much more intimidating. Personally, I think that's very effective. That's why he stays in the box for the show. Also, this is a very venomous snake. Now we move these snakes all the time. As you can see, he pooped in his box. We have to clean that. We don't clean it when he's in there. That's really dumb. We move them all the time. We're in constant contact with these snakes. Obviously, he doesn't live in this box. This is a show box. He's putting in his 9 to 5 right now. He's on the site. He's working. They have water when they go in. We're moving them all the time. We're in constant contact with these snakes. That's what I'm trying to say. If someone here at Reptile Gardens was to ever get bit, specifically by one of these monocled cobras, it is not good. We have about 10 minutes to get to a hospital and start receiving anti-venom treatment before really bad things started happening to our bodies, as in our organs shut off. So, luckily for us, here at the Reptile Gardens, we do have a hospital 11 minutes away. So, another frequently asked question we get asked when we are he'll figure it out. Another frequently asked question we get asked when we're handling venomous snakes is how do you tell the difference between a venomous and a non-venomous one? A lot of people say things, you see some things online. Unfortunately, a lot of it's either pretty misleading or it's not true at all. Some of the most common ones you're going to hear are going to be like, shake the head. Didn't I have 2 hooks?
On the top.
Oh, it's there, okay. Like, where'd it go? What was I saying? Oh, some of the things people think can distinguish venomous and non-venomous snakes are like shape of the head. Triangular shaped head means a venomous snake. A rounded head means a non-venomous snake. Rounded head, highly venomous snake. You also hear shape of the pupil. Cat's eye pupil venomous, round pupil non-venomous. Rounded pupil, very venomous. You also hear colors and patterns. You know, like the coral snake rhyme. Black tipped yellow, kill a fellow, whatever it is. That works here in the United States. The second you go down to South America, their coral snake colors are flipped. So that rule doesn't work at all. There's always an exception to every rule that people say a venomous snake is going to break it. there's not a lot of ways to distinguish between a venomous and non-venomous snake unless you just know what the snake is. There is one way though, it works every time. You do have to you do have to see the snake. It's pretty complex, so listen up. Again, if you're within, eyesight of the snake, you listening? You just walk up to the snake, put your hand right down by its face, let it bite you. If you die, it was venomous. So, yeah, it's probably just a lot safer and easier for everyone here to just learn about which venomous snakes are in the areas where you live or where you plan to visit. If you guys are visiting South Dakota, from out of state, or anywhere else in the entire world, you don't have to worry about all the venomous snakes down in South Africa. Just learn about the one venomous snake found here in South Dakota. A lot of South Dakotans know what it is, and it's really only found on this side of the state. If you go East River, they're not there. They go to West River, they love the Black Hills and the Badlands, so you have to watch out for them around here. And it is, of course, going to be known as prairie rattlesnake. Now, prairie rattlesnake is a very common but secretive snake here in South Dakota. Many people will live their entire lives in our state never actually see one. So, I figured why not let you see one here? Obviously, he's a very friendly snake. He was just wagging his tail at me. Yeah, no. That is, of course, the rattlesnake's unique tail appendage, the rattle. We all know what we find out if we go down there and we count the number of segments on this rattlesnake's rattle, right? You can find out what a venomous snake bite feels like. If you want to find out how old this snake is, you better ask him when his birthday was. Rattlesnakes gain a new segment onto their rattle. Every time they shed their skin, they can shed their skin from 0 to 10, anywhere between times in the year. They break off all the time. They are just made of the same thing our fingernails are made of, which is keratin. They're just these interlocking hollow segments of keratin that they shake really, really fast in order to make that noise. They shake their tails anywhere between like 0 to 20 times in a second to make that noise. Now, also, people think that a rattlesnake is always going to rattle before it strikes. Yeah, that's true, until it strikes first and rattles later. The two are not dependent upon each other. Many snakes, both venomous, non-venomous, with a rattle, without a rattle, shake their tail when they feel threatened. Not just rattlesnakes. Also, I don't know of any animal in the entire animal kingdom that needs permission from its butt to bite you. So keep that in mind. Now, we all know what to do if we're in the wild and we hear a rattlesnake, right? What do? Run! You should be like, run away. It's really not the first thing you should do. However, if you said that, you don't feel bad. That's not the worst answer I've ever heard when I've asked that question. The worst answer I've ever heard, actually, was the first time I was doing snake shows. There's a little girl, she sat right up there. She goes, stop, drop, and roll. Please don't do that. But again, if you run the second you hear that sound, that's not going to be your best option either. If you hear that sound, you just run. You might run right into that snake. That is not going to make him very happy at all. Best thing for you to do, don't move. Movement attracts his attention. Movement can be threatening. He simply just doesn't want to be stepped on. Best thing for you to do is to freeze, locate the snake, and just move in the opposite direction. Now, some people are okay with a few feet. Some people probably prefer a few miles. But suppose you're one to select you that want to try and capture, kill him, poke him, prod him, take him as a pet. Go for it. Don't blame him for what happens next. Sometimes if you get them cornered, they'll rattle for me. Maybe if I put them in the box, they'll do it. Or not. You're kind of rattling now. Are you going to rattle the second I put you in the box? Kind of. Not really. You're landing. Now he's doing it. He didn't like that. You got a question?
Should I be worried tomorrow? I'm going to the Badlands.
Should you be worried you're going to the Badlands? Yes. You're going to die. No, you should be good. Again, they're honestly more afraid of us than you are of them. He didn't want anything to do with me at all. You see? He's in his box. He's real quiet right now. He doesn't want me to find him again. Snakes aren't evil. They're not out to kill you. If you step on them, though, there's a high likelihood you're going to get bit. That's the reason they have rattles. They don't want anything to step on them, and they will use their rattles. A lot of people have heard this thing going on in the hills.
Well, some different weird stuff in here too. About 9 minutes left. I have Nice t-shirt right here. Nice t-shirt right here. Oh yeah, a tie-dye shirt right here, kind of cute. A tie-dye shirt, kind of cute. Dark Gator. Dark Gator. I find the last face of serving. Oh, fossil here too. Pretty cool. All fossil here. Oh, pretty cool. Right here too. That's a white with her too. Oh, that's funny. Salt and pepper, prescription bottle. I'm talking about too. I don't know. Got one here.
I'll make you a hard copy.
No. Okay.
Wait, can I get a shield and a knife? Can I get a shield?
Now I hear it.
That's so cute. Yeah, it is. That's like on our way to go to the next one. This one's stick. Now what's the next one, Mom?
Hey, I'm about ready to haul you now. Got a cowboy hat right here. Get him a straw hat right here. Well, anyway, I think that's all I have for you. If you kind of like the video of the retro yarn stuff like that, we would like to subscribe and think about what every California adventure you enjoy the video.